Lighting is one of the most important parts of a smart home, and also one of the easiest to get wrong, quickly becoming unreliable and annoying. What you see here in front of me is $6,500 worth of Lutron lighting products that I spec'd for a real home. But the question is, in 2026, is this still the right choice? With Matter, cheaper switches, and more options than ever, the answer may not be so obvious. Hey, I'm Robert, and Oconee Smart Homes exists to make real homes more convenient, accessible, and safe with smart home technology. We serve real customers right here in Oconee County, Georgia, but this channel is for anyone who wants to make a simpler, smarter home. Here's the reality. Lutron isn't the only option anymore. We've got tons of options from different brands supporting Matter and various ecosystems, and on paper, a lot of those options look pretty good. They're cheaper, packed with features, readily accessible, so why wouldn't you just go with those as opposed to a higher-end professional system? Well, because lighting isn't like most smart home devices. You don't use it occasionally, you use it constantly, and you need it to work every single time. When it doesn't work, you feel it immediately. So it's not about having the most features, it's about a home that runs smoothly and doesn't become annoying. So let's reframe for a second. Because when you buy Lutron, you're not just buying devices, you're buying into a lighting system. A system where lights respond instantly, scenes just work, and you have a consistent experience across your home. And yeah, there's dimmers and switches and all that, but there's one thing that Lutron does better than any other brand, and we'll get to that in a second. For this project, we're using Lutron's Caseta system, their most popular residential smart lighting platform. So what all do we have here? We've got 35 of the Diva dimmers, 45 of the Claro switches, 4 fan switches, and 2 bridges. This is a full Caseta-based setup covering the main lighting zones in the home, nearly every switch. But depending on your house, you don't have to do everything at once. A lot of people start with high impact areas first and build from there. The reason for 2 bridges is that each bridge only supports 75 devices, and we're gonna build a system with all of these plus the Serena shades. I've only ever had 2 real complaints about the Lutron Caseta line. The first is the design. The original switches had that kind of button look, and some of those buttons could be kind of mushy. They have addressed this with the latest iterations of the product in the Diva and the Claro switches, which have more of a traditional rocker look. The second issue that I have, still not addressed, is the wires on the back of the switch. The switches have these pigtails, which in an already crowded box, hooking these up and getting these to fit can be a real problem. And so a lot of newer switches just have traditional terminals, and I would much prefer that. But for now, you can't beat the reliability, so I guess we live with the pigtails. And then there's the issue of Matter. Lutron is a member of the CSA, which is the governing body of the Matter standard, and yet they haven't updated their products to support it. Now, this doesn't have too much of an impact on consumers as they pretty much already support every ecosystem available, but it does make you wonder where the updates and innovation is going to come from. Wouldn't Lutron benefit from a simplified developer experience of using Matter instead of integrating into each and every ecosystem independently? So why did I still spec Lutron for this house? It comes down to a few things. First is reliability, and this is the big one. Lutron just works. It doesn't break, no random disconnects, no wondering why didn't this turn on, no weirdness after updates. And if you've spent any time with enough smart home gear, you know how rare this is. Now, to be fair, Matter is getting better. Thread is getting better. But when it comes to lighting, it's one of those areas where mostly works isn't good enough. Lighting has to feel instant, not pretty fast or usually quick, but right away. Because when there's a delay, you notice it. It feels off. And Lutron is one of the few systems where every press, scene, and automation feels immediate. So how does Lutron have a reputation for being so reliable? A big part of it comes down to the way that the devices communicate. Lutron uses their own proprietary wireless protocol called ClearConnect, designed specifically for lighting control. That means fast response times, excellent range, and incredible communication between devices to keep things in sync. And yes, that does mean that you'll need a Lutron bridge, but this is one hub that you won't regret having. And then there's the Pico remotes, Lutron's secret weapon. This is something that most people overlook, but these little remotes solve huge problems that a lot of smart homes struggle with. Need a 3-way switch but can't find something compatible or run wires? Done. Need a separate switch by your bed? Want to control scenes from anywhere around your house? And they just work. no batteries dying every month, no pairing issues. These are one of the biggest reasons that I lean so heavily on Lutron. From a design perspective, these are simple and clean, and you can get them in a number of colors to match the style and decor of your home. And finally, confidence. When I walk away from a system like this, I'm not wondering when I'm going to get the first support call. I know it's going to work, and that matters because the best smart home is the one that you don't have to constantly think about. Now, no system is perfect, and if you're considering Lutron, you do need to know the downsides. The first many would consider is price. This system spec'd out at over $6,000 in hardware. It adds up quick, and for a lot of homes, I know that's just not realistic. It's not the most exciting. Lutron isn't flashy. They haven't been chasing every technical trend, and they're not leading the charge on Matter. But you're not buying this for cutting-edge technology. You're buying it for a reliable system that's actually going to work in your home. The good news is that Lutron works with just about every smart home ecosystem imagined, so you'll be able to take this and integrate it right into the rest of your smart home. So Lutron doesn't need Matter to be reliable, but Matter could use Lutron's level of reliability to succeed. So let's address the big question. Why not just use cheaper switches or go all in on Matter? And honestly, you can. For a lot of people, that's a perfectly fine choice. Because here's the difference. It's the difference between something that works most of the time and something that you never have to think about. And you can look at just about any smart home forum on Reddit and see that Lutron is the most recommended for reliability. And with lighting, that difference matters more than just about anything else in your smart home. So back to the original question. Was this the right choice? For this home and this budget and the expectation that it just works all of the time? Yeah, I still chose Lutron. But that doesn't mean that it's going to be right for everybody. If you want a system that's rock solid and just works and doesn't have you troubleshooting your lights, Lutron is still one of the best options out there. But if you're on a tighter budget or enjoy tinkering, are looking for advanced features like energy monitoring or smart bulb compatibility, or just need one or two switches around your home, there's a plethora of other options out there for you to consider. Oconee Smart Homes is a certified Lutron installation partner, but one of the hardest things about smart lighting isn't installing switches, it's figuring out which switches will actually work in your home. That's why I built a compatibility guide based on switches that I actually use and recommend that keeps track of features, ecosystems, and electrical compatibilities. It's available for channel subscribers, and the details are in the description below. And if you have questions about your setup, drop them in the comments. God bless you. I'll see you next time.